Hello students, in this video we will discuss the degrees of freedom in thermodynamics chapter. So first of all, the degrees of freedom. It has got two definitions. The first one is this. It is the total number of coordinates or independent variables required to specify the position of an atom in space. So this is the definition. It is the number of coordinates or independent variables required to specify the position of an object in space. So let us consider how to describe the position of an object in space. So I have an object like a ball. How to describe its position in space? So you require a three-dimensional axis like this. Here we have x-axis, and this is y-axis, and z-axis will be like this in this plane, right? So I write like this. This is z-axis. Like if I have an object, like an object is here. What is its position? How will you describe its position? It is at the origin. So x comma y comma z. X comma y comma z is 0 comma 0 comma 0, like this. Whereas the position, an object is here. How will you describe its position? So it has its own y-axis value. It has corresponding y value. It has corresponding z value. Similarly, it has corresponding x value, and it has corresponding z value. So you will describe its position as x1 comma y1 comma z1. So to describe the position of an object in space, how many coordinates or independent variables you require? That is called degree of freedom. So in this case, for this object, or you can consider this is an atom, basically monoatomic molecule. You can say monoatomic molecule is basically an atom, right? Its position is described by the x, y, z. So if it is here, it is 0 comma 0 comma 0. If it is here, it is like some values of x, y, and z. So you need how many variables to describe this particular object? You require 3 variables. So that is called degree of freedom. The total number of coordinates or independent variables required to specify the position of an atom in space. Similarly, if I have a molecule in which n number of atoms bound together, okay, what is the degree of freedom in it, right? So I have a molecule like this. Say it is a diatomic molecule, and this particular atom in this molecule requires 3 coordinate axes to describe its own position in space. And this particular atom, again, it requires 3 independent variables to describe its position. So how many degrees of freedom it has got? Here 3 and here 3. 3 independent variables required for this atom and 3 independent variables required for this atom. So if n number of atoms bound together to form a molecule, we require 3n degrees of freedom. So this is my first definition for degrees of freedom. And now I have got second definition for degrees of freedom, and this is very important. It is the number of ways a molecule in gaseous phase is allowed to undergo certain types of motion. It is the number of ways a molecule in gaseous phase allowed to undergo certain types of motion. That is, a molecule in a gaseous phase undergoes how many types of motion? Let us see. A molecule in gaseous phase undergoes how many types of motion? Say I have a monoatomic molecule. I said monoatomic molecule is basically an atom, a single atom. Okay. how it can move from one point to another. It can move from one point in space to another point in space along this direction, or along this direction, or along this direction. Right. So in this case, the molecule as a whole, it moves from one point in space to another point in space. This is what we call as translational motion. So molecule in gaseous phase may undergo translational motion. And if I have a molecule like this, a diatomic molecule, so you can consider this particular thing, a diatomic molecule. This molecule, okay, if I pass a plane in this direction, and if I am able to rotate this, can you imagine, if I pass an axis in this direction, and if I rotate this axis, the molecule will rotate like this, right? Also, if I pass plane like this, and if I rotate like this, the molecule will rotate like this. So this kind of motion is called rotational motion. So a molecule undergoes rotational motion also. And the another type of motion is called vibrational motion, which possibly take place at higher temperature. So again, consider I have a molecule like this. Okay, at higher temperature, what happens? The bond stretches like this. So bond stretches and contracts like this. This is called vibrational motion, right? So we will be discussing this. We will be discuss about all these types of motion in detail. Okay. Now we have got two definitions, and we are going to correlate this. What is my first definition for degrees of freedom? It is the total number of coordinates or independent variables required to specify the position of atom in space. So normally you require 3 independent variables to describe the position of atom in space. So if n number of atoms bound together to form a molecule, we require 3n degrees of freedom, or 3n independent variables. Okay, and keep it as it. Now my second definition says that the molecule in gaseous phase is allowed to undergo how many types of motion? If a molecule, undergoes translational motion, rotational motion, and vibrational motion, you have to sum up all the motions executed by the molecule, and the total number of motions exhibited by the molecule is called a degree of freedom, is its degree of freedom. And we can compare with this. Right. Now let us see how many degrees of freedom exist for monoatomic molecule and diatomic molecule, and for triatomic molecules also. I said monoatomic molecule is basically an atom, just an atom like this. So how many degrees of freedom exist for this? Let us see. As I told, the degrees of freedom is the number of motions exhibited by the molecule, that is translational motion, rotational motion, and vibrational motion. And here in this case, it's just an atom, and this atom as a whole can move along x-axis, can move along y-axis, and can move along z-axis. So this is the translational motion. The molecule as a whole, it has to move from its place, from one point in space to another point. So therefore, the translational degree of freedom or translational motion is 3. And rotational, how much? And vibrational, how much it is? So the rotational, so the molecule is like this. If you pass any imaginary axis on the atom, so I can pass any imaginary axis like this, or even like this. And if you try to rotate about it any axis, the molecule will not move from its place. The molecule will rotate on its own axis. But here, the rotational motion means the molecule has to move from its place and rotate. So this molecule cannot move from its place if you pass any imaginary axis on which passes through its body. Therefore, the rotational motion is 0. And vibrational motion, it is single atom, there is no bonds. So even at higher temperature, the molecule does not have it is just an atom, so it has no bonds, so it will not vibrate, right? If there is a bond like this, the bending vibrations, stretching vibrations happen, but here this is just an atom, there is no bond stretching and bending happens here. Therefore the vibrational motion also 0. So it has 3 translational degrees of freedom: 0 rotation, 0 vibration. So how many degrees of freedom it has got? So total number of degrees of freedom is 3. And according to my first definition, it is the number of independent variables required to describe the position of atom in space. So it is how monatomic molecule means, and based on that we have 3n degrees of freedom. Right, according to the first definition, the molecule should have 3n degrees of freedom. So here 3 into only one atom in this molecule, therefore 3 into 1 is 3. So our second definition, number of motions executed 3, and according to the first definition, number of independent variables required, that is also 3. Now the diatomic molecule, how many translational, how many rotational, and how many vibrational. So diatomic molecule, here the molecule as a whole, we have to say the molecule as a whole, it's like this diatomic molecule. This molecule as a whole can move along x-axis, move along y-axis, and move along z-axis. The molecule as a whole move from one point in space to another point in space. Therefore it has got 3 translational degrees of freedom. And the number of rotational degrees of freedom. See, the molecule is like this. If I pass imaginary axis perpendicular to this, that is the molecule if lies along x-axis, I am passing along the axis along y-axis. Okay, I am trying to rotate like this. If I try to rotate like this, what happens? This atom comes over here and this atom comes over here. So this is like this situation. So this is my diatomic molecule. One atom is here, another atom is here, and I'm passing the plane like this, perpendicular to this, and I'm trying to rotate like this in this direction. I'm trying to rotate like this. What happens? If I try to rotate like this, this atom comes over here and this atom comes over here. So this kind of rotation happens. So one rotational motion it has got now. Now again consider the molecule is like this. Now this time I am passing the plane like this. Okay, this time passing the plane like this, and I am trying to rotate. If I try to rotate, what happens again? This kind of rotation happens. Okay, so again I got, so this is my axis and rotate like this. So here also rotation take place. Now I have got 2 rotational motion. And what about this situation? I have a molecule like this and I am passing plane along the 2 atoms and I am trying to rotate like this. What happens? The molecule atoms will rotate on its own axis, but the molecule will not move from its place. Therefore this is not considered as a rotational motion, it is restricted. Therefore it has got 2 rotational motions. And now about the vibrational motions. And here, for a vibrational motion exhibited by a molecule only at higher temperatures. Only at higher temperatures. So what kind of vibrations happen at higher temperatures for a diatomic molecule? Normally 3n minus 5 vibrational motions happens in a linear molecule. In a linear molecule. So diatomic is linear only. So how many vibrational motions exist? 3 into 2 minus 5. N means 2, diatomic 2. Therefore, it has one vibrational motion, which is nothing but a molecule like this. Molecule at higher temperature, the bonds will stretch and come back to its position and stretch again like this. The bonds will stretch and come back like this. So this kind of vibrational motion happens in diatomic molecule. Fine. Now, what is the total number of degrees of freedom exhibited by this diatomic molecule? It's 3 translational, 2 rotational, and 1 vibrational. Therefore, 6 degrees of freedom. And according to my first definition, it should get 3n degrees of freedom. For any molecule, it should get 3n degrees of freedom. And substitute n equal to 2 in diatomic molecule. So 3 into 2 is equal to 6. And please note that the vibrational degrees of freedom is possible only at higher temperatures. You may confuse that in some textbooks. You may read that a diatomic molecule will have 5 degrees of freedom. Yes, it is correct. By excluding this vibrational degrees of freedom, it has got 5 degrees of freedom. Now let us see how many degrees of freedom exist for triatomic molecules. The triatomic molecules we can classify into the triatomic linear geometry and triatomic non-linear geometry. Example, triatomic linear, example, we have carbon dioxide. We have 3 atoms in this molecule and the geometry is linear. So the bond angle is 180 degree. And here there are 3 atoms in this molecule, but it is non-linear. It is bent shape. Water is bent shape. Yes. Now let us see how many degrees of freedom exhibited by the triatomic molecules. First, linear case. Translational, rotational, vibrational. So how many translational degrees of freedom exhibited by any molecule? As a whole, it can move from one point to another. So the molecule as a whole can move along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So no doubt the translational degrees of freedom is 3. And about rotational degrees of freedom, as we have seen in the earlier case, like the same thing is followed here. Like what we have seen in diatomic molecule, the same case. So here the rotational motion is like this. So I can pause axis perpendicular to this. Like if this is along x-axis, if I pause along y-axis and rotate, the rotation happens. The molecule will move. That is from this atom with respect to this axis, move from here to here, and this comes over here. So this rotational motion is possible. Again, this kind of rotation is also possible. If I pause a plane like this, if I pause an axis like this perpendicular to this again, that is z-axis, like this, and rotating, the atoms will move from one place to another. So this kind of rotation is also possible. And if I pause axis like this, if I pause axis like this, that is the axis which passes along all atoms, passes through all atoms on the axis. Therefore, this rotation will not pass. If we rotate like this, the atoms will not move. It will rotate on its own axis, but it's not considered as a rotational motion here. So here one rotation, here one rotation possible. So it is just similar to what we have discussed in diatomic molecules. And regarding this vibrational motion, the carbon dioxide molecule, linear geometry, different vibrations happens here at different temperatures. Here the molecule, we can say this kind of bond expansion or contraction happens. This is called asymmetrical stretching. This bond comes over here, this bond elongates. So this is called asymmetrical stretching. So this is one vibrational motion. And if the stretching is like this, both bonds elongates like this. So this is called symmetrical stretching. So 2 vibrational motions are possible. And And here the molecule, the atoms will bend, the bonds will bend like this. Since it is on the plane, all the atoms are on the plane, the bending may happen like this or happen like this, okay, on any two planes. So the vibrational motion is 2 over here. It can bend like this, two atoms bend like this, or two atoms bend like this. So it has two vibrational motion. Normally, how many vibrational degrees of freedom for a linear molecule? It is 3n minus 5. So here 3 into 3 minus 5. So it is 9 minus 5 equal to 4. Sorry, 4 here, because one vibration, asymmetrical stretching, this is symmetrical stretching, and two kinds of bending vibration happen. Therefore, total 4 vibrational degrees of freedom. Now, what is the total degrees of freedom? 3 translational, 2 rotational, and 4 vibrational. So, totally 9 degrees of freedom it has got. Also, according to my first definition, a molecule, how many coordinate axes or independent variables required to describe its position in space? So here we have three atoms, so it required three coordinate axes, and this required 3 axes, and this required 3 axes. That is 3n degrees of freedom. So 3 into 3 equal to 9 degrees of freedom. 3 into 3 is 9 degrees of freedom according to my first definition. But same thing, the vibrational modes or vibrational motion exhibited by a molecule only at higher temperature. So if you excluded this, the molecule will have 5 degrees of freedom. Fine. And about this triatomic non-linear. So how many? Translational, rotational, and vibrational. So how many translational degrees of freedom possible? As usual, the molecule has a whole. It can move along x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis, and there is no fourth dimension possible. So it can have only 3 translational motions. And how many rotational motions are possible for this? And here, first I am passing along this axis. If it is like y-axis and rotating, yes, the atoms will move. So this kind of rotation happens. And second, I am pausing like this. I am pausing axis like this and rotating. So the atoms again will move from its place. Right? So this kind of rotation also possible. Now, if I am passing through this axis and I am trying to rotate like this, whether the rotation happens or not, yes, it will happen, because these two atoms are not on the axis. So with respect to this axis, this will move. Am I right what I am trying here? So if you pass along this axis, these atoms will move like this. These atoms will rotate like this. Whereas in this case, carbon dioxide, if I pass along this axis and trying to rotate, this rotation will not happen. But here it is possible. So how many rotational degrees of freedom is possible here? Here we have 3 rotational degrees of freedom. 1, 2, and 3. And passing through different axes. Now, and how many vibrational degrees of freedom is possible in this case? Here, for any non-linear molecules, 3n minus 6 vibrational degrees of freedom possible. That is 3 into 3 triatomic, right? So n is equal to 3 minus 6. So 9 minus 6 is equal to 3 vibrational degrees of freedom possible. And what are these 3 vibrational degrees of freedom again? Here, first bond asymmetric stretching, this kind of thing happened. Bond asymmetric stretching, bond symmetrical stretching, 2 bond symmetrical stretching, and bond bending. Here the bond bending vibration is only 1, because it is already bent. The molecule will not move all along the way like this. So if this is my axis, the molecule will control over here, and it bends down this axis and will not go along above this axis. So here we consider this as only one bending vibration. So how many vibrational motions are possible here? Asymmetrical stretching, symmetrical stretching, and one bending vibration. So there are 3 vibrational nodes are possible. So how many degrees of freedom? 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9 degrees of freedom for this triatomic molecule. So again, my first definition says that a molecule will have 3n degrees of freedom. Molecule should have 3n degrees of freedom, and again it is 3 into 3 triatomic, so 9 degrees of freedom. But if you exclude this vibrational motion, how many degrees of freedom for is possible for triatomic nonlinear? It has 6 degrees of freedom. Thank you. And this is the summary of what we have discussed. So if nature of the molecule is monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic, and triatomic linear and triatomic nonlinear, how many degrees of freedom? Translational motion, rotational motion, vibrational motion. So total degrees of freedom is this. So for monoatomic, we have 3 translational, no rotation, no vibration. So 3 degrees of freedom. It is nothing but 3n according to the first definition. Right. And diatomic, 3 translational, 2 rotational, 3n minus 5 vibration, that is 1 vibration. So totally it is 6. So according to first definition, 3n. Right. So 3 into 2 equal to 6. And for triatomic, translational 3, rotational 2, vibrational for linear, it is 3n minus 5. So 3 into 3 minus 5, 9 minus 5 equal to 4. And upon summing up, 3 plus 2 plus 4, 9. So totally it has got 9 degrees of freedom. And for triatomic nonlinear, again, it has 3 translational, 3 rotational, and 3n minus 6 vibrational modes are possible. And so 3 into 3 minus 6, 9 minus 6 equal to 3. So overall it's got 9 degrees of freedom. But remember that normally at average temperatures, you should exclude this vibrational motion. Then monoatomic 3, diatomic 5, triatomic linear 5, and nonlinear 6. Thank you.